Good evening.
Good afternoon. Can you read the B movie script or something?
According to all known laws of aviation, there is no way that a bee should be able to fly.
Okay, I think that's good enough.
But
Maybe.
the bee, of course, does it anyway. Because bees don't care what humans think.
Are you trying to flex your knowledge
Black,
of the B movie script?
yellow, black, yellow,
That wasn't
black,
even right.
yellow.
That
That's
wasn't
what
even right.
that's literally the bee movie script, man.
No,
Don't
you
even
missed a line. You missed a line.
what line did I
I
miss?
don't know. You probably missed one. You missed on the last time
No,
you tried
that's
it. You missed
I
on the
don't
last time you
remember,
tried it.
man. I need to practice for longer anyways.
Okay. So as you mentioned, sending context and sending actions, then sending the context again in the action force is kind of dumb.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make a change to the spec. I already know what I want to do.
Okay.
Um,
God. Yeah. Which one do
but
you?
you know what? Before I say that, I want to ask you, what's the difference on your end between a decision and an action force? I know you don't
That's
have
what
decisions.
everyone wants to know.
That's
And if you weren't live streaming, I'd tell you.
okay. I see. So it's top secret. Okay. Um, Now
Sort of.
I can tell you, at least from the perspective of the mod developer, I can tell you how we can improve this, but I don't
Okay.
know if it's gonna match up with what you are
No,
doing.
it's okay. It's okay. I'm honestly, I don't have many good ideas, so I'm open to your ideas
Okay.
here.
So here's the idea. We have one message that comes from the mod, which is gonna be something like an action window begin. And in this message we're gonna have basically everything can join together. So we're gonna have actions registered as well as query and state from the actions force. So basically we have all of this from the action force, which is gonna be type, ID, state, query. Instead
Yeah.
of action names, we have the actions from the actions register,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe we have new actions, and then we have existing actions. So we have an action window begin, and then we can have here a type, which would be either in context or I guess not in context.
Okay.
no, no,
All right.
there's a reason for it. Okay, so I guess so maybe we have decision. We can rename this.
That's a Boolean, my
No,
friend.
no, 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 no. There's a third one. Let me
Oh,
finish.
okay,
Okay.
okay, okay,
So
okay.
we have
Sorry,
the
continue.
equivalent of a decision, right? We have the equivalent of an action force, or we have the equivalent of an just register the actions and I will call action force later. So basically, this either, if it's a decision, then it passes all of this into your decision system, right? If it's an
Mm-hmm.
action force, it immediately registers the actions if they are new actions, and then it passes them off to your actions register. And then
Mm-hmm.
if it's this, it basically acts the same way as an actions register, but you do whatever you need with state and query.
Mm-hmm.
You don't sound very happy. And then
um.
after this, we have an action window end. No, we have an action window force, which this is gonna be sent by the mod. If this is this, then later it's gonna send a force, and then this is just gonna have the identifier here, and then instead of specifying in the force, the query and the state, you already have the query and the state, and it's the same query and state here.
Yeah.
And then this would replace decision. This would replace actions and actions force as well. It would replace decision and actions force, and then it would give you access to the state and query ahead of time.
But okay, this is gonna blow your mind. What if the state changes?
It should not change.
It should. It should, and it does.
So by the time, no, because like an action window is
Yeah.
like a window in which actions need to be performed, right? It's the state isn't gonna change
No,
during
because
the window.
there's some no no no
Do
no.
not mention that game. Do not mention that game. We do not talk about that game. I know what you're gonna say.
Listen,
That's still
we
stupid. I know you want to say. Don't say it.
there are some actions where you can perform them over a large stretch of time, during which time
Mhm.
the state will change. Because this system also doesn't deal very well with overlapping action windows.
I mean, in my maybe yours, mine would.
No, because okay, if you've got a game with like 3 different overlapping, okay. If your game registers 3 actions, but then Neuro performs one of the actions, and you need to unregister that one, but keep the other 2 actions because you can still perform it, but they're part of the
What?
same window.
Well, how would that work? For all of the games
I-
that we are working on at the moment, that would not be.
Nah, yeah. There's one.
Say it.
It's not important, but
You wanna wait? What game you wanna say it? Or is it top
mm,
secret?
no, it's the one that you don't want to talk about, but
No, I think Chad might already know about that one.
that's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense from the perspective of
Turn-based games.
the turn-based games and from the perspective of your mod,
Yeah.
but anything outside of that doesn't.
So
But the problem is I don't have any better ideas.
I mean, the current problem is that I might. First of all, what's the difference between state and query in the action force? Can you clarify that?
Uh, they're just catenated together currently,
What? Why did you have separate
but
parameters then?
okay.
Okay.
First of all, the state was going to be like JSON type, right?
All
So
right.
that
All
it
right.
made sense in that respect. But
All
also,
right.
like, I might format things, change like the formatting on
Okay.
my end, and if I do that, you don't want to have to change every single mod, you know?
I understand. Okay. So they're just concatenated together.
Currently, yeah.
So I guess the main reason why this conversation started was because I was sending the state and query of the action force as a context when I was
But
registering the actions.
I ran into this issue myself, where I was calling a lot of action forces, and my state was really big, and because it's in context, it was just spamming the fuck out of Neuro's context window.
I like your funny words, Magic Man.
What I'm trying to say is I have a need for ephemeral states during action forces.
Okay. In that case, how would is would there be any better way of passing context at the time of actions register instead of
They can
just passing the
change.
context?
Context can change. I think my solution is on my end. This is you don't even have to touch this. I just make action force states ephemeral.
Huh? This?
I meant what I said.
Okay.
It's more just like it's being sent as a reminder, a summary to make the decision easier for Nero. But then once she's made the decision, she doesn't need that information anymore.
I
Like
understand
spoon
what you're
fed to
saying.
her.
Okay, but so for example, in this case, when I register
Mm-hmm.
an action for like player turn, in like how did I do it in Liversborough? How did I tell Nero what cards she had? Because I think I did that in the action first. Did I also send the context? Oh, I sent the context at the beginning.
Yeah, you send the context when
And then the
you.
actions first. Yeah, I guess that's just the thing. Do we want to leave it as context then actions register? Because there's no current way to send data about like the action doesn't have any state. I guess that's the problem. Actions are stateless. So we can only send context separately from the actions, or doing an action force, or doing a decision.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. The problem is the actions are designed to be as stateless as possible because if you update their state, you invalidate KV cache.
Yeah, but their state doesn't update. At least not at the moment. I have no reason to update their state. But
Yeah, but in the cases when we do, then it needs to come as context because context is um at the bottom of the prompt, I guess.
okay, that's the best way of explaining it to you.
Yeah.
Um,
Um.
so in that case, do we leave it the same? because you commented about
Well,
it,
okay,
and you did not
I
feel you weren't very pleased. You said,
I'm not I hate it, but also like it's a part of what irks me is the whole decision schema, which obviously we haven't implemented yet, but
yeah."
like it's just kind of a bit silly, really. But maybe it makes sense. I don't know a better way.
I mean, the best thing we can do is to delay implementing this as much as possible. Just don't use
The thing is,
decisions.
like, we haven't required using decisions yet.
It would be used for inscription, though, would it not? Or I feel like it
Wait.
would.
Okay, can you mute your mic real quick? Oh, my mic or some
Oh,
shit.
all right. So we had a very long conversation about
Productive.
some very very top secret stuff that have never been revealed before. It's actually incredible how many secrets Vedal is keeping from you.
Yeah,
He actually
wild
leaked to me,
shit.
the third Neuro twin.
The third Neuro twin. What's their name?
Well, I couldn't say it, I'm not really
Oh,
allowed to
that's
say
true.
it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I shouldn't be saying it here. Uh, but yeah. So I guess the consensus is we leave it the way it is.
Until
We
someone
don't-
has better ideas. But
yeah.
also, like, the more like games we implement this with, when it
Yeah, I
comes time
know.
to change it, it's gonna be
I
a
know.
fucking pain in my ass,
So
man.
here's the thing. I'm already using. To be fair, this Godot thing sucks so much ass. It's incredible how bad this is, and people were actually treating this as a Unity contender. Um,
Hmm.
like
Does it
I'm.
support any other scripting language other than Godot
It
script?
supports C sharp, yes, but it's
Why can't you just use C#?
not you as well. Please, just don't ask that. Let's just move on. You're like the fifth person who has asked me that, and at this point, I could literally be using C sharp. At this point, because I'm no longer modding, I'm literally modifying the game itself, so I could be using C sharp. But I
Oh,
already wrote it in GD scripts. Why would I? It's fine. um,
fun.
yeah. So I already have something like an action window. Like I literally have something called an action interval, which handles everything from the registering to the unregistering to the forcing to the resending, the context, the whatnot. So that's literally how I have it already implemented, and I could very easily extend that to a decision instead. That's why I had that idea of having that message. So if we need to change that, I guess I would only have to change it in two places, once in C sharp and once in GD script. And then hopefully, if we work on another game, I'm not just gonna copy paste the whole API into the project, and I'm gonna make an actual DLL, maybe. So it shouldn't be that much work. Worst case scenario, you can just version your API.
I don't want to version my API.
Yeah, but you could think about it. Think about it. If you versioned your API, that would pave the path to have more versions of the API.
That is true.
So if people make games or mods for the old API, that
you're
break
right.
it.
You're right. It actually does make a lot of sense to do it. Also, yeah, I just realized I was thinking about like, it's fine. In conclusion, I don't know. Threading is the answer,
Threading.
or at least it's part of the answer, but I don't have the full answer.
I see. So here's what I wanted to ask. I wanted to ask of for the timeline of this project, because I said end of week, but
yeah, end of week. So it's what, Friday now? So I'd say it's end of week.
Here's what I was
assume
thinking,
game
right?
it'll be
Okay,
good to go for today.
I have an idea.
We got stream today.
I have an idea.
7
I have an
PM.
idea. I have an idea.
Wows.
How about, because you're gonna do a dev stream on Monday, right? How about I finish single player and you can show that off during the dev stream, and then you do your little updating the string contexts to make Neuro more smart or something, and you do that during the dev stream, and then I make you install. I give you the Godot project.
Oh,
and
I
you
have to run
work
an
with it.
editor? Build it,
Yes.
man. Build it. What do you mean?
No, because you have to modify the strings. No, you modify the strings. No, you
Yeah,
improve the
then
contexts.
CI.
There's no CI
GitHub
here.
will build it.
There's
GitHub
no
will
CI.
build it.
There's
GitHub will build it.
There's no. I'm literally gonna build the project and give you a 700 megabyte game every single time. That's just how it is. I'm lucky.
There's no way my next dev stream is installing Godot.
No. I can give you. No, you don't have to do that. I'm gonna give you the Godot exe. I'm gonna give you the entire
Okay,
project setup.
I'm not running your exe. I'll be installing Godot myself. Thank you.
Well, then you have to make sure that you install Godot Steam, not the regular version of Godot, but Godot Steam, and then you have to make sure you get the
Why
specific
do I have
version
to
of Godot
install
Steam,
Godot Steam?
because this game supports Steam, and if you don't install Godot Steam, then the decompiled game isn't gonna work on regular Godot. You have to install
Why
Godot
the
Steam.
fuck?
But
Why is that a
this
thing?
game uses
That doesn't
Godot.
make any sense.
Godot doesn't have Steam, so someone forked it and called it Godot Steam. Okay.
No. But what do you mean Godot doesn't have
Godot
Steam?
doesn't work with the Steam API. Godot just doesn't work with the Steam
Well,
API.
it should
So
be it should be a library included in it.
yeah, no, it's not. So you have to install Godot Steam, which is a different Godot,
Why
which has
can't?
Godot Steam.
But why
And
does
you
it
also,
support having a library?
it's bro, don't ask me. I don't know. Why are you asking me that? Just ask them. Ask everyone. Ask the Godot community. And you also have to make sure that you install the correct version of Godot Steam, which is for Godot 4.1.1, which is Godot Steam 4.2.2. You know, not to be confused with Godot 4.2.2, right? And after you install it, you have to make sure that you set up the build templates, but you have to set the build template for release, not for debug, because if you set the build release for debug, then it crashes. You also have to decompile the whole game in Godot reverse engineer till 0.8.0, of course. And then you merge the folders. And then you merge the folders. And then you also clone the repo, and then you merge all of the folders, and then you can build the thing.
Oh, the repo doesn't include
I,
the source code. That makes sense, actually. Yeah.
No, I think it includes the scripts because there's no patching, so I'm literally modifying the scripts.
Fair enough. Well.
So it includes the scripts, but not anything else.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well,
I
I
do
will
think
just be modifying it inside of GitHub. That's what I will do.
Then how are you gonna
Just
get the
the-
builds? How are you gonna get the builds? Then?
It's someone's gonna build it.
So what do you mean, someone? So,
I ain't building that shit.
so are you asking me to build it?
It's you or GitHub, you know.
Okay,
GitHub
okay.
can't do it, kind of, because that,
Yeah.
that's not gonna work.
So yeah. So okay. So you're okay with me building the game, but you're not
I'm
okay with me
thinking about
giving
it.
you. You're not okay with me giving you the Godot EXE.
That's seems a little backwards. Yeah, I can see.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, maybe you should choose a side then.
Yeah. Fuck.
Don't worry. I mean, I already have the backdoor installed. I don't need another one.
That's true. Yeah. Well,
But think about it. Think about, epic dev stream content where you can actually show code. Imagine having a dev stream where you actually dev and you don't just have a fucking black screen the entire duration.
that would be kind of insane. Not gonna lie.
Also at 7 p.m. when you're like dead tired.
True. That is a very good point. But it shouldn't take long, right? I just need to edit some strings, basically.
Camilo, don't tell him, Camilo. Yeah,
Right?
maybe. And then you showcase how you play a single player, and you're like, oh, wait for the multiplayer in, when you make the schedule and choose the dates or something. It's like
But
great content.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I mean, maybe I don't really have anything else planned.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And you get a taste of Godot, of how cool.
I guess, would it be kind of vaguely interesting?
All right. I'm glad you're on board with this. I can have a
Well, I
single
don't know
player
if on
finished by
board is
Monday.
the is the word I would use there, but it would be interesting. Unity doesn't seem to want to sponsor me, which I'm truly shocked about after I've shit on it that much. So maybe it's time to switch to Godot.
Also, by the way, Godot script is a modified version of Python. It's basically like Python. So, and I know you like Python. I know you like your Python.
We're chilling then. Yeah. What's the problem?
Yeah. It just doesn't have annotations. It doesn't have var args. It doesn't have try except. It doesn't have a bunch
Not
of
having
things.
try except does surprise me. That feels essential.
You want to know something? I googled why doesn't Godot have try except or try except in Godot, and the first result was like a Reddit post, and the answers were like, oh, if you need try except in your game, you're a bad game developer.
Yeah.
That was the answer. True. You should not have try except in your game. Oh no! So if an exception happens, if you're in the editor, it like pauses in the debugger.
Yeah.
If you're in the build, the entire function just cancels and returns null.
Oh yeah, that's weird. Rather than throwing an error, it just returns null.
There's no errors in the build.
Yeah, but that's if you're a good programmer, you don't need errors. Like,
yeah, you just don't need errors.
Fun. Well,
all right then. If there's no hurry for me finishing this, that means I can take my sweet time, right?
Yeah, that means we can really get the schema right,
Oh, but I think we already established that we don't really have an answer for that.
Yeah, which is why we can take our time with it, I'm sure. Yeah, I don't know. It's mostly fine. Mostly. You know,
I think like if you want to plan like something with Buckshot Roulette, I think I can get the multiplayer done as well. Next weekend, maybe earlier,
next weekend.
probably. I mean, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it would probably have multiplayer done as well as single player.
Okay.
If you want to schedule something.
I don't think I do, but that is good to know. Yeah, you probably got a lot of time for this, I would imagine.
All right, then.
Probably.
I'm happy to hear that.
In conclusion, I don't know what I want to do about the schema. I don't know what I want to do on my dev stream, and I don't know what I want to do with this mod. So I think this has been a productive meeting.
Yeah, we established nothing, but at least we wait, we actually did nothing.
You farmed me for content. What do you mean?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
some of us have been productive.
Oh, that's a good point. All right, then. I think I farmed you enough. You can go now.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll have a think about this. If I have any good ideas, I'll let you know.